Good day, I am John Chris Bansag. For today's topic is all about quality management in product planning. So from the title, you can see that there were two root words which are the quality management and the product planning. So let us define quality management. So product quality management is a comprehensive set of tools that enables organization to control, manage the data related to the product quality across enterprises. So this product data includes product and manufacturing defects, field failures, customer complaints, product improvement, and corrective and preventive action requests. No, so in product quality management, it's all about managing the different processes and aspects in products and manufacturing processes. No, it's all about management to then. For the product planning, it is defined that as a process of creating a product idea, the following through on it until the product is introduced to the market. A small company must also have an exit strategy for its product in case the product does not sell well. So, product planning and marketing includes managing the product throughout its life, using marketing strategies such as product improvements, differentiated distribution, price changes, and promotions. Now, so in product planning, it is the planning or the constructing of ideas on a certain products and how to improve it by adding some features, improvements, and many others. So before the product it is released, it is critically and carefully planned before it will goes to the market. And if the product will not reach the expectations, there should be a plan B. So quality management and product planning is defined as the idea of applying and putting into the consideration of part of quality management an important role in product planning. Quality management is a vital player in ensuring the efficiency, effectivity, and efficacy of a product before it is produced or even put at the start of production. So quality management and product planning is very important. Yes, kay dili ta magbasta-basta pagawas og usa ka product ngadto sa market kung wala ni siya kanang na-plan og pagmaayo, which is mo'y gamit sa quality management and product planning. So before that product will goes to the market, the managers or the quality management must ensure the efficiency, effectivity, and efficacy of that product. So it is also an act of overseeing different activities and tasks with an organization to ensure that products and services offered, as well as the means used to provide them, are consistent. It also states that it helps to achieve and maintain desired level of quality within the organization. A perfectly planned product requires procurement and production processes in order to achieve the desired quality. So if mag-start na ganina ang production sa product, dapat ang quality niya throughout from the first kan nga nigawas nga product nga quality niya dapat mao sa quality sa uban, dili kay sa usara dili nga mag-differ sila sa mga quality. Dapat quality must be seen jud na. Then quality management and product planning na po day different techniques. First is the Kano model. Then second is the quality function development, and lastly the house of quality. So for the Kano model, No, I will give you a brief history about Kano model. So, Kano model DI, or pronounced as Kano, is method of prioritizing features on a product and roadmap based on their likelihood of satisfying customers. It was published in 1984 by Dr. Nuraki Kano, no, a professor of management at Tokyo University Science. No, so Kano model DI also can help teams determine which features will satisfy and even delight customers. No, so product managers often use the Kano model to prioritize potential new features by grouping them into categories. These feature categories can range from those that could disappoint customers to the likely to satisfy or even delight the customers. No, so in Kano model, they will find features, different features of a product that maybe can satisfy or delight customer, or worst, it can result to dissatisfaction or disappointment from the customers. No, so okay. Kano model works. Product teams use the Kano model to compile a list of potential new features that are competing for development resources. Then the team will then compare and contrast these features based on. So first, di ay kayang customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction, it all starts with a single goal, no? So Kano propose a scale that ranges for complete happiness, also as known as delight and excitement, to complete dissatisfaction or frustration. No, so the first, customer satisfaction, the main goal of product teams, no, so is to reach the highest customer satisfaction, which is the delighted. So product teams then mag-offer na sila mga features such as basic features, performance features, excitement features. No, so in customer satisfaction di okay, nga nila i-base nila karon maka-rate sila if that features will satisfied, delight, or frustrate the customers. No, so as you can see there are the different levels of satisfaction, no, so ranges from frustrated to the highest, delighted. So for the second is the functionality. So it represents how much of a given feature the customer receives, how well we've implemented it, or how much we've invested in its development. It is also known as investment, sophistication, or implementation. No, so in this dimensions ranges from none to best, which is the highest. So in functionality, the idea customer satisfaction, then Planta, we will provide some features as just like I said earlier, the basic performance features, excitement features, such as the car. There are features that basic features of a car is the signal lights. No, so it is one of the example. So there are different features in the product that you can add. No, so dili lang sa DI ka igo ta mag sum up o mag-gather og ideas o mga features, igo ta sa plan. Dapat dahil it is well executed sa implementation po niya, kay the customers will rate the functionality based on how it is implemented, or how the experience in what are their experience in that certain product. No, so that's for functionality.
Hi everyone, I'm going to discuss about the Kano model. Kano model attributes are features. The model identifies three types of attributes or features that product teams should consider on their roadmap. First, threshold attributes are basics. These are the features that your product or business must have in order to compete. Customers expect and take these features for granted. This implies that they must be included. Examples: when you book into a hotel, you'd expect hot water and a bed with clean linen as an absolute minimum. Every restaurant has to be clean and hygienic. Without this, no customer will be satisfied. An unsafe car which poses a risk to its occupants doesn't present a mandatory requirement that any consumer demands. Would you take off on an airline's plane if you saw its paint was spilling off? While this may not affect its performance or safety, for an airline, looking safe in every detail is a must. Although, if this was a bus you were taking to the next town, it probably wouldn't make any difference to you. Another feature of the Canon model is the performance attributes or the satisfiers. These elements are not absolutely necessary, but they increase a customer's enjoyment of the product or service. Dr. Noriaki referred to this type of feature as one-dimensional due to the direct linear relationship between how much you invest in it and the amount of customer satisfaction it provides. Examples: returning to the hotel example, you'd be pleased to discover that your hotel room had free super fast broadband and an HD TV when you'd normally expect to find paid for Wi-Fi and a standard TV. Another is the tastier the food, the more satisfied the customer. The more economical, the more satisfaction a car will bring to the customer. Comfort is directly proportional to customer satisfaction. Next, features of the Canon model is the excitement attributes or the delighters. Consider these features to be the one-of-a-kind innovations and surprises that you include in your product. Dr. Noriaki referred to these features as attractive and delighters because they had that effect on users, and delight can generate an outsized positive response to your product. Excitement attributes are the wow factor features that can give you a competitive advantage. These features can represent a good return on investment because you don't need many of them to generate high levels of customer satisfaction. Example: in your hotel room, you might be finding the complimentary Belgian chocolates that the evening turn-down service is left on the bed. Next is a restaurant offering free parking on site. Next, a car with a 5-year warranty instead of 1 year. Next, an airline that offers double miles. Canon model. This is the graphical representation of Canon model. So as we can see in the bottom right quadrant or in the third quadrant, you can see that a product with just threshold attributes, even if it has a number of them, may not even lead to an indifferent level of customer satisfaction. Customers begin to find your product attractive when you offer performance attributes, and it's along this line in the top right quadrant that most organizations position their products in the market. Excitement attributes are the wow factor features that can give you a competitive advantage. These features can represent a good return on investment because you don't need many of them to generate high level of customer satisfaction. Application of Canon model in real life. From the post of Kathy Parker about his experience while dining out, How often have you been truly delighted by a dining experience? Recently, a co-worker and I had the good fortune to have such an experience. We were in Arizona to deliver Six Sigma DMAIC, Define, Measure, Analyze, Improve, Control training, and had dinner at the Macaroni Grill number 135 in Phoenix. Our waiter was attentive and the food was good. We thoroughly enjoyed our dinner, but we were unable to finish it. The manager Renee stopped by to say hello and to ask whether we were enjoying our visit to the area and our meal. While we chatted, she offered back 2 boxes of our leftovers for us, at which time my colleague requested that the sprig of rosemary that garnished her plate be included. She explained that for her, the rosemary represented a comforting smell and one that reminded her of her childhood. While we finished our coffee, Renee prepared our take-home boxes and returned them to us with her thanks for visiting the restaurant and an invitation to return when we visited the area once more. The next day we opened the bag containing our boxes. Imagine our surprise when we found not only our leftovers but also a fresh loaf of bread, several large sprigs of rosemary, and a personal note of thanks from Renee for visiting the restaurant and wishing us well in our travels. Needless to say, our dining experience delighted us, and the thoughtfulness of the manager Renee astounded us. Parker's experience is a good example of the application of Kano model in customer satisfaction. First, let's take a look at the threshold attributes. Even if she didn't say it in the post, but they surely had certain expectations for their meal before they even arrived at the restaurant. Just like how we will expect a good service, clean environment, tasty foods, and reasonable prices. This can be compared to basic needs or characteristics that must be met in order to ensure customer satisfaction. Customers will be dissatisfied if these needs are not met. Total absence or poor performance in any of these characteristics may result in extreme dissatisfaction. Even if these requirements are met completely, rather, there is no guarantee that customers will be particularly satisfied or return for additional meals at the establishment. Next, let's consider the performance attributes. As previously stated, these have a linear effect on customer satisfaction. More is generally better, and excellent performance in these areas will increase customer satisfaction. Furthermore, the price customers are willing to pay for goods and services is closely related to these characteristics. Customers may be willing to pay for the restaurant's ambience, a fine wine selection, and prepared fresh made-to-order dishes, for example. The better the restaurant meets these needs, the more likely customers will be satisfied with their overall dining experience. Finally, the excitement attributes again. These are unexpected by the customer, but when present, they can result in high levels of customer satisfaction or wows. Consider the extra rosemary and loaf of bread that were tucked into their leftover packages. Then there was Renee's personal thank you note. This personal touch was certainly unexpected and delightful, ensuring that they would return to be delighted again at some future date. Their experience demonstrates how the simple but powerful Kano model can assess teams in understanding the distinction between basic performance and the lighter features. There is a much better chance of retaining current customers and gaining new ones if you design in and focus improvement efforts on those features that create customers' delight. That would be all. Thank you.
Quality functions development. Quality functions development, or also called quality management system or QMS, is a strategy of generating design quality aimed at placing the consumer and then translating the consumer desire into design target and significant quality assurance point to use throughout the manufacturing phase. It is a method of ensuring design quality while the product is still in the design phase. Kani si Yuji Aqua. Kani siya is a Japanese professor nga ga-invento aning quality functions development, which is as I read earlier nga ang kanang quality functions development is kanang gana convert sa desire sa mga consumer. So next tagson. So kani siya consumer feedback plus quality functions development as is consumer satisfaction. So as kaning kanan ni sa akong nasabtan na is consumer feedback is even positive or negative ang feedback ana dapat imo nang i-kaning kuan. If ever negative na, make it a challenge, and if negative na, make it also a challenge to improve. So as kanang given na nadaan nga quality functions, if from the word quality is it is kanang kuan na is makuha na nga basta na quality ang usa ka product or usa ka development is kanang kuha na given na daan na ang satisfaction sa mga consumers. So kani si padayon tagbasa Dr. Yuji Aqua and Shijiro Misono, two Japanese professors I said earlier, invented quality function deployment in 1960s, and as a result the procedures was given a Japanese name at first, Hinshitsu, and which kanang gapokus sa quality features and attributes qualities. Sa kaduha, Kino functions or mechanizations. Tinkai kay deployment, dispositions, developments, and evolutions. Kani mga kanang kuan is it is a very important in kaning kung mag-development, like example lang ng evolutions is kung na kayo sa kakunin kuan dapat kaybaw ka mo evolve or kanang ga-enhance ang mong kuan. So padayon ta di na ko na itagsatag sa og kaning kuan kay self-explanatory naman kanis tanan kaning quality. So quality functions developments of or QFD is a Six Sigma method tries to capture the consumer voice. Like kaning kuan katong consumer feedback, dapat makaibaw ka og unsa ilang feedback sa imong productions or sa imong ginabuhat nga kaning kuan. So the Six Sigma tools have evolved been associated with the house of quality throughout the years in order to define client wants and transport them into definite factors characteristic that would be satisfied specific needs. So naman gyud inani like example gana produce ta og mga needs nila pero walay quality, which is dili mo end up sa end up sa satisfaction sa mga consumer. Ang gamit aning quality function is to reach da kanang magkuha nimo ang ilang satisfaction. So mo nang ginagamit nato ang kaning quality functions development. So padayon ta. So unlike house of quality which focus on the product engineering capabilities or Q, quality functions development focuses on what the user would say about the product. I said earlier nga kanang ang gina-focusan nila og unsay feedback sa ilang production, parang whether mo improve ba sila, di ba? Mo ginatong kuan as a kaning future kaning kuan dapat dili ta mapabilin. Kay if ever mapabilin ta sa ka product, like example lang ta sama sa kanang Nokia nga kanang brand, naungusan na sila or na lumbaan na sila or sa ilang mga competitor like sa Vivo or Apple, kay nag-evolve sila, ginatan-aw nila ang needs sa kanang industry. So kani pa sa padayon ta objective of quality functions deployment. The objectives of Quality functions deployment is for the business to be an frontrunner of innovations with the capacity of optimize favorable aspect that add value and satisfy the consumer throughout the development, productions, and business processes. Ako na nung na-explain ganina. So, padayon ta sa number 1. Understand consumer requirements as sa kaning kuan lang kanang kuan na dapat ang sana self-explanatory na daan kay imagine kaning kuan understanding the consumer requirements dapat kay baw ka ug unsay ginanid sa kanang mong consumer nakasabot ka. Like example, mga mananagat. Siyempre, mananagat, dili na sila, wala na magkinahanglan og mga pang daro. Nagkinahanglan na sila og mga gamit para sa dagat, di ba? So, itong basahon, understanding the needs of the consumer is essential for the discovery. A business analyst who records all the consumer requirements but use not comprehend them put the solution project on the wrong track. When the business analyze, understand, and requirements, she or he put the project on right course, can be even recover requirements that are incomplete. So sa kaning kuan dapat kung magkuan kag business dapat kay baw ka og kinsa ang imong mga target nga kanang consumer. So padayon ta quality system. Kaning number 2, quality system plus psychology and knowledge. So, ito na yung basahon na. This quality system incorporate elements of psychology as well as a system thinking. System thinking represent the overall pictures or the product, whereas psychology relates to the knowing what the consumer needs and want. What they define by values their purchasing choice and ultimately what keep them purchasing at the same product. Sa kaning kuan nato kaning asa to whereas psychology relates to knowing what the consumer needs and wants. Dapat as ikaw nga product kanang kuan ka, ikaw nga businessman, dapat kibaw ka asa ang wants ug needs sa kanang kuan sa usa nimo ka consumer. Kay if ever nga mas naglabi ang imong wants nga kanang mga production is dili unlike sa kanang needs nga imong gina-product ga-produce, dili kay inana kadako imong profit. Kay dili man tanan consumer nga maka-afford anang ilang mga wants, di ba? So sa sunod ani nga their purchasing choice asa to. Sorry guys. What is a consumer needs and wants? What they define by values, value their purchasing, and asa ang ilang mas gibalyo, ang wants ba nila, ang need, but as sa ako or sa base sa akong observations, gina-value nato ang katong needs nato. Gamay ra siguro nato ang una atong mga dili gikinahanglan kayo, di ba? Gani ato mga parents kanunay nag-ingon nga ay na lang kanang basta dili importante. So nanatay given na nga dapat ang mga needs may atong unahog kaning kuan. So dere what keep them purchasing the same product. So proceed ta sa number 3, maximizing positive quality and adds value. The important factors of considering if you want to add more value of your product and services is to offer better quality than your competitors at the same different pricing. O kani dapat kung gusto ka nga mas mo kanang say tawag consumer satisfaction is described as a the important factors of considering if you want to add more values of your products and services, it is to offer better quality than your competitor at different pricing kanang like example ang if na business karon di gyud na mahitabo nga wala kay competitors, and kanang competitors dili na kanang bati sa usa ka negosyo. Okay, kanang competitors usa na sa mga obstacle parang mahimo kang mas mudako ang imong business, mas makakuha kag mga strategies nga para mas mo improve ang imong kaning kuan. And like example, nagtinda sila og sapatos. Ya, nakita nimo ang ilang mga sapatos lig-on, dapat dili lang kay lig-on nimo ha. Kung dili nindot pagod anang kumbaga gana improve ka na improve ka sa imong product, and kanang competitors kay gana talk mode man nato para mas mo improve ta. Dili ta na himuon nga babag nga wala na koy na may daghan kaning kanay hono na tani, dili na kun dili bisan pag unsa kadaghan ang competitors ato nang tan-awon na positive way nga tungod ani nila mas mo excel ko ani nana. So at dili sad ingon nga excel niya kauman nindot na kay mong product, nindot kay presentable, quality na tanan pero mahal. Dapat at the same kaning kuan gapon affordable gapon sa mga kaning kuan mga consumer, target consumer nimo. Kung mga pobre ra imong kaning kuan, mga less fortunate, so anang affordable ra sa mga tao ba nga bisan si kinsa ang kaning kuan is okay ra kay maka access ra. So quality is quality is how consumer view the worth and product services. So number 4 proceed ta comprehensive quality system for consumer satisfaction. Pasana ka. Consumer satisfaction is described as a metric that assesses how satisfied consumer are with a company product, service, capabilities. Consumer satisfaction data such as survey and rating as assessed as a firm is determine how to enhance or adjust its products and services. Sa kani kay dapat kuan juga kanang mindful kay ka sa imong business. Dapat kay baw ka kanang effective ba imong product, di ba? O kanang nasatisfied ba imong kuan diri masud ang kanang mga feedback, survey kanang mga statistical data if effective ba imong usa ka product sa kanang sa mga target consumer nimo, if unsay problema kay dili nimo makita ang imong unsay tawag niini imong pagkuwang sa kanang kuanay sa imong sudlang sa imong kaning kuan. Dapat mahibaw ka sa mga consumers. Sa consumer gyud may pinaka-accurate nga kaning kuan kay consumer namo gyud kanunay permi mo ginanay ika istorya, like example sa t-shirt, bati ang kaning kuanay, bati ang silk nimo gigamit sa mga cotton nimo bati. So dapat sa ilaha ka mo kaning kuan mo conduct og research dili sa kanang kaning kuan or something nana. So diri ta sa number 5 proceed ta strategy to stay ahead of the game. Mo ni akong gikuan ganina. It is vital in the corporate world accelerate the usage of advantage technology. Dapat kay bawta mo gamit sa kaning kuan dili kay ikaw kay napabilin ka nga kanang manumano ra gyapon. Dapat kung kaning kuan nag-evolve mo mga competitors, dapat mas nag-evolve ka, mas ding evolve mo kaning kuan. So padayon as kaning kuan atong gamiton ang technology nga kanang advantage ba, like dili na to disadvantage nga disadvantage kay sila na mga kalagot kay sila nanay kuan ayo dapat himuon ta ng advantage, like example sa mga machinery kakuan ta na even though di na unang kaning kuan is murag lisod pa bet mo na. So susunod, the evolutions and access to information can assist organizations and maintain ahead of the market and better understanding the demand. Kani kay kani kung if na kay kaning machine kaning mga kabantay nga mga dagkong kumpanya or kanang coke nga kanang kuan kay kada sila wala na magamit og manumano, and pila na sila katoy more than 20 years na siguro na sila, pero still daghan sila competitors pero nadya po ang coke, diba? And knowing ang coke sa kaning kuan is ahead jud gyapon sa kanang kuan kay nga naman tungod kay wala sila mapabilin sa sauna nila nga kanang way of production. Kung sa una ang siguro magkuan sa mga botelya is mga manpower. So gana evolve or gana improve sila silang dili lang sa mga manpower nila, kun dili hasta sa ilang mga mga makina. So gamay nga trivia day gamay kanang cook is no, ang kanang cook gani kay kaning kuan siya gana dogay na kayo sa industry pero ahid lang gihapon. And knowing nga ang Mexico at may pinakadaghan o ganing ganay Mexico ang grabe ga-consume sa cook karon. So mara to so
Benefits of quality function deployment. Every business has clients, whether they are internal, external, or both. Determining how to satisfy your clients, quality function deployment is a critical tool. QFD is a consumer-driven process for effectively discovering, gathering, and fulfilling customers' requirements. And I have here the advantages why we should use this tool. Quality function deployment is a method of designing and planning customer-focused products or services. It is a system for translating customer requirements into design specification. It can prioritize the requirements and make judgment based on customer needs. It enables multiple departments within a business to collaborate on design and planning. And lastly, it is a high-quality function tool that shortens product development and time to market. How to use quality function deployment? Many individuals currently use the word QFD to refer to a succession of house of quality matrices linked together to describe clients' requirements and translate them into a particular product characteristic to suit those demands. The house of quality matrix is one of the effective methods of explaining the voice of consumer. The template is built on a systematic strategy that employs planning and management tools to effectively listen to and prioritize clients' demands. Design engineers typically begins with planning and proceed through 4 processes to acquire a better grasp of process quality control. The procedures is as follows. First, we have here the product planning. Practitioners recognize traits that it fulfills the needs of consumers. Using the quality function deployment tool, they examine business opportunities and identify essential target. Next, to product planning is component deployment. Using the prioritized design criteria, critical components as assembly elements are identified and target values are set. Next is the process planning. At this stage, the prioritized elements are used to determine critical process needs and components, and critical process parameters are established. Lastly, we have quality control. It can prioritize process control parameters and methods and establish production methods that support the previously prioritized process elements. Each stage in the 4-step method is related to one before it. Six Sigma practitioners can use the information acquired to build better production and processes that match client criteria and target values once the project is concluded. Lastly, why should quality function deployment be implemented? Well, for us, in today's market, the client is king. And it is essential to stay up with shifting needs and trends. QFD assists an organization in aligning multiple business functions such as design, quality, manufacturing, production, marketing, and sales. In order to achieve customers' perceived value, it aids the development of customer-focused products or services. It methodically converts customers' requirements into design specification. It enables different divisions with a corporation to participate in the design and planning processes. And lastly, it aids in the reduction of product development of time. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm just Principada. So my topic is what are the components of the house of quality. The main components required for creation of the HOQ matrix are as follows. So number one component is identifying customer requirements and their perception. Customer requirements can be determined through research or customer feedback or identifying how customer want to purchase a product. Identifying product and engineering design requirements. So number two component is identifying products and engineering design requirements. So gamit po ni siya kay ato po ning ikuha ng i-identify nato ang product kung kuan ba siya, quality ba siya o ang ihapong design nga maka-attract sa mga customer nato. So drawing up, number 3 component is drawing up a relationship matrix. So ano siya is usa ta mo kuan sa atong product or usa ta mo kuan sa kuan dapat ato sa ni siyang or like sketch kani siya. Pwede ta mag-sketch sa kuan aning bagay sa kuan house of quality. Planning and deploying expected quality by listing CR in order of importance and benchmarking competitive products. So kani siyang number 3 ug 4 is same ra ni siya kay about planning gyapon ni siya pag kuan drawing. Ang kaning planning pwede ta mag-plan pero wala pa siya drawing igor siya mag-plan. Ang effective quality or CR. So importante po gani siya sa house of quality. Then number 5 component is comparing SC through a technical important ranking. So kana siya is comparing means mag-compare pud ta kung asay indot or unsay mga technical importance or sa mga kuan pa is asay indot o unsay mga quality nga atong kuan. So number 6 component is analyzing the correlationship existing between the various characteristics. Correlation matrix and number 7 is prioritizing SC. So number 6 is analyzing. Analyzing is yes gamitin siya usap po ni siya sa component sa house of quality kay gamitin siya sa kuan kay mag-analyze ta kung unsay ang kani kuan ba tani sa atong product nga makuan ba sa mga customer nga dapat patok din ang atong kuan sulit numbers na og sa iyang characteristic. Yung prioritizing mo naman is kanang ato yung i-prioritize kung unsay mga patok sa mga customer or kanang unsa gali na nang ilang gusto. Oh, that's all. Thank you.
So the fourth step is define product attributes. The first three steps focus on the customer's perspective and marketing concerns. The fourth step requires involvement of input from engineers or product designers. This step is needed to create an appealing product and on how to meet the customer's requirements. In the example, it includes the features such as power motor or engine power, blade system, housing design, and controls. So the fifth step is to determine direction of the improvement. This step necessitates technical expertise. You must now establish how far the actual state of the product attributes must be altered to the target state that generated from the customer's requirements. To indicate this, you use three symbols. The up arrow means the attribute has to be increased in order to optimize it. The down arrow means the attribute has to be decreased in order to optimize it. Then the circle means the target value is desired. In this example, we would like to expand the blade system to achieve wider range of function. On the other hand, the motor power or the engine power has the target value and marked with circle symbol. So the sixth step is determine relationship. Fill in the actual matrix, which is like the body of the house. In the sixth step of the building of the house of quality, now we will look at how the individual requirements relate to the product's features.
To evaluate the relationship, you use four different values. A. If there's no connection at all, you specify a value of 0 or leave the field blank. B. A weak relationship is given a score of 1. C. A medium relationship is ranked 5. And D. A strong relationship is rated 9. So in this example, the relationship between the blade system and range of features is quite strong and have a score of 9. The other relationship, which is the housing design and range of feature, has the very weak relationship and have a score of 1. The seventh step is analyze interrelationship. Now concentrate on the roof of the house of quality, which is the triangular area above the actual matrix. The interrelationship between the individual product qualities are displayed in the section. You determine if the relationship is positive, negative, or neutral, whether the qualities of or functions support, block, or have no influence on one another. The positive, negative, and zero marks can be used to express different types of relationship. In the expansion of the feature interfered with the functionality of another, the correlation would be negative. This is not the case in the example. Instead, in this case, the engineers discover that a larger housing design improves durability and provides more area for the controls.
Step number 8. Determine importance. You can determine the importance of each product attribute by multiplying the values specified in step 6 with the weight specified in step 2 and then adding all the values. You now have an overview of the importance of each feature because you've already defined how closely each feature relates to customer requirements. So this will help you with further product development. So in this case, you record a percentage. You offset the possible maximum value against the actual result. So in our example, we would multiply the value 5 from the motor power by the weight, which is 5 multiplied by 5 equals 25, and next multiply the value 5 by the weight 3 equals 15, then add the two values of the absolute value equals 40. So let me zoom this. So 5 times 5 from broad range feature 5, and then from engine power, which is also 5 equals 25, and then i-add ang 25 of 15, we will get absolute value of 40, and then so on with the blade system, housing design, and controls. And to get the relative percentage, so this will further know how important each appliance is. So from the absolute total value, which is 176, so we can calculate the percentage from of the each appliances. So from engine power, we have 27.59, 33.10% from blade system, and from housing design is 34.48, 26.21 from controls. So this this percentage, from this percentage, you can determine the importance of each appliances. So next, step number 9 is competitive analysis from the engine's perspective. So in the lowest portion of the house quality, which is the basement, you can fit another market analysis from the perspective of product developers. Engineers evaluate their product, perhaps still in planning, to competing products in the market, just as they did in step 3. Engineer now comparing each product attribute and evaluating its performance in comparison to competing products. So let me zoom this again. This is the basement and this is the engineer's perspective. From technical target values, we assign the ratings from 1 to 5 in each appliances. So the perspective of engineer is there. From motor power is a 4th rating. From blade system is 1, 2 from housing design, and 1 from control. And then connect the markings to make a graph, and that is how it looks. So step number 10, define target values. In final step, you can start planning. Enter specific data from your target values. In our example, the blade systems need to be extended to 10 functions to meet the requirements. So here's the final target values. So the target values of motor power or engine power is 750 watts. From blade system is 10. Housing design, the target value there is 10 millimeter or 10 mm. From controls is 6. So that's all is 10 steps.